Today, we have with us Dr. Susan Raj as guest, BSc, MSW, PhD. She's a BSc nurse, Masters in Social Work and Medical and Psychiatry as a specialization. Her doctorate is in Humanities and she is a certified mineral therapist. Due to the type of her master's and doctorate, she looked at health as an indicator of our behavior towards our environment. Her focus is on human behavior to use and throw because his behavior is the root cause of toxic accumulation in the cell, which incapacitates cells' self-healing ability. According to her, these kinds of public health bills are deliberately designed to ensure that human health becomes the criminal business for medical industry. They ensuring the medical science should be suppressed for feeding on pain and pain of humanity. He is the founder president of the Academic Advisors TAA Pune and director of Sustainable Arogya Awas Foundation Chhattisgarh State, India. She is working on many humanitarian projects. She is a star campaigner for Awaken India movement. She won so many awards. So on behalf of IFPH, I am welcoming you, madam. You can have the platform for the next 45 minutes. It's over to you.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. My background is in allopathic nursing, and then I did my master's in social work with behavior as my specialty, and I focused on use and throw behavior of humans. And my PhD also is in humanity, and I do the mineral practitioners. And the whole perspective of human behavior has changed my perspective towards the health and the diseases. So that is what I'm going to put in front of you today, and connect it to the public health policies. I thank Dr. Dhanesh, who got in touch, and I'm here, and I hope that we all will enjoy this, and I would love to have questions from you all. So our topic is My Health, My Right, why we have to fight for our right today. This is what I analyzed during my practice for last 30 years. I would like to explain this through the triangles and the circles of life. In the universe, the triangle and the circle are the most stable or sustainable designs. I will take you through one simple example which we all go through. When we drive our car or any vehicle, there is a triangle in our mind which is called the conscious mind. The triangle is representing the conscious mind. What happens when we drive? We need to have a destination, a direction, and the path. These three need to be at the conscious level continuously till we reach the destination. And what happens with the circles? While we are driving, we have focus on destination, but we never pay attention on when to press a brake or change the gear or clutch. All these things we don't care. Why? Because it has gone into our subconscious mind. How it goes into subconscious mind? When the information is given and it is repeated regularly, again and again, it registers into subconscious mind. So the triangle represents our conscious mind and the circle is subconscious mind. Every information which is going through the conscious mind will create a subconscious. Therefore, in the behavior science, we pay a lot of attention on information, because information will convert into thoughts, and thoughts are powerful. They are real force. And then it connects with our emotion, which has got charge in it. And then the next formation can happen. So this is the importance of triangle and the circle of life. So I will take you through various triangle and circle to understand about the public health policies and why we are asking for my right, my health, my right, and what is the change we are asking in the public health policies. My experience has shown me again and again that health is an indicator of our behavior towards our environment. Health is nothing but indicator only. And what is happening indeed is our behavior with our environment. What is that behavior? Use and throw behavior is formed with taking incomplete responsibility, half. That means partly correct and partly incorrect informations will come. And what will be formed? Hypocrisy. When partly correct, that means they will give you all the correct information first. And afterwards, slowly they will enter with the false information. And this is called hypocrisy. The moment hypocrisy comes, it will be always accompanied with injustice and biased behavior. And what is formed by the injustice and biases will always have problems. I'm going to explain that what kind of problem it will bring in the coming slide. But let us see what happens when we complete the responsibility. Use and nurture all behavior is formed with taking complete responsibility. Only good can happen in the complete responsibility. Love and forgiveness with confidence. Enlightenment grows. Honesty, justice, and unbiased behavior forms. Health and behavior, how they are connected. Human behavior is tamed to accept a narrative. It is all about the stories we tell. That is the information which gets through our triangle. Who controls our triangle? And they will give you the information. It is an absolute frog syndrome. You might have heard about this story about the frogs. You put them in the pan and they will enjoy the water in it, slowly heat it. They will not realize it. It is enjoying for them. It's a beautiful reward system, and they they are enjoying in the pot. And after some time, when the heat is increased, when they want to jump out, they find that the heat has paralyzed them. They are cooking now. Same thing happens to our behavior. It can be tamed. How? By rewards. What is the reward for our behavior to change? It is appreciation and conveniences. These are the two amazing rewards which God has created in our system, that it creates dopamine secretion, one of the feel well neurotransmitters in our brain, and it is addictive. And we need it. Just now we are having that dopamine secretion. That's why we are happy just now and listening to it. It is very important function. And when it is not there, the material substances will come for addiction. But by hook or by crook, we need the dopamine for addiction. An amazing gift it is. Appreciation and conveniences. With the same thing, you can make a person accept any terrible thing in their life, and they will give their life, they will die also, they will appreciate. With only appreciation and convenience has to be there. And that is what happens with human behavior. And today, in last 2 years, we have seen the narratives which are given to us about the medications, about the vaccine injection. This is a poison but everyone was appreciating it. Even in the parliament, our prime minister appreciated that my country's people are so good that they have taken the vaccine to save everybody else. Wow, 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 wow. Appreciation. And all those who will take vaccine, they will have all the conveniences. Otherwise, you cannot fly. You cannot take your food. You cannot go to a mall. Inconvenience. We don't want. And see, big, like when you take up the phone, it would get the message. Appreciating. Wonderful that our country has done 100% vaccination. Good that it was not 100%. At least some, what you call, dishonest people were first time in their life were correct this time. They could give some false certificates and saved a lot of people. Appreciation and conveniences are the one which can change our behavior. Why it is not going? Okay.
Yes.
Public health policy is based on slavery. I have used the word slavery. I'm going to explain how. This is a triangle I'm going to show you. You can see this triangle, and inside the triangle, you can see the circle. There is a big meaning out of it. Don't take it lightly. This you can find in the dollar note, this triangle and the circle inside. It has a meaning. What is the meaning? This triangle is the triangle of hypocrisy, because all the information is controlled and the subconscious mind is controlled by the Hippocratic system. So I'm going to show it as head, heart, and hand. These three will always work in this triangle. What is the head? Head is the education system of our society, where science comes, where research will come. That is our head, where you can ask question why, when, how, what, etc. Heart. What is the heart of our society? It is the religious faith institutions and philosophies and psychologies. These are the heart of our society. What is the hand? The government, the administrative system is the hand. So, what happened today with the Hippocratic system in the public health policies? The religions give the reasons for war. The science makes the weapons for war. And the government, the hand, conducts the war. This is what is happening for the human being. Not only today, it has been happening from the time we are living in a group and in the community, and hypocrisy is entering into it, and it will create disputes, diseases, wars as the reason for death. And we have reached up to the world war. Not only communities war, not only from one country to another country wars, we have created the world war. To the extent, I always say that what is the hypocrisy system, why they have to have trouble? It is run by the satanic system, and satanic systems require pain of the people, the troubles which come. Pain of the people is the food for the satanic world, and therefore they create it. So when there is a disease, when there is a war, there is pain. And this pain is becoming the feeding for the satanic systems. And in that system, in the World War, at Nuremberg in Germany, they found that the victims of the war were used as medical experiment subjects. All the drugs were used on them. They were not satisfied with the natural remedies. They wanted to have new remedies to see that how it works on people. And this code came that it cannot happen without the permission of the patient. That is the Nuremberg Code. And in Indian Constitution, we have the right in the Article 21, right to choose the treatment. And we do have a confusing act as the Drug and Magic Remedies Act. If you read You can absolutely get confused. It says that you cannot advertise that a disease is curable, like diabetes or like BP or thyroid. You cannot declare, you cannot advertise it. It is illegal. Therefore, the Ayurveda and the Unani and Siddha, homeopathy, mineral therapy, they all are suppressed. No, it is illegal. You might be remembering the case, where IMA was trying to put a case under this law on one of our Dr. Bishuru Roy. That you cannot see the hypocrisy, height of hypocrisy. And therefore, we have to fight for our right today, that my health, my right. What is the flaw in this public health policy? First thing, whenever there is a flaw, you will find the definition's gone wrong. When your definition is wrong, your destination is going to be wrong. Your directions are going to be wrong. Your path will never reach you to the right place. WHO, the World Health Organization, is absolutely delighted to change the definition anytime they want. When I was working for HIV in 90s, the definition of pandemic was a disease which can kill people pan-world in all the countries. And if that death rate is more than 1%, then it is called pandemic. And today, suddenly they have changed it. I think they recently changed in 2015 or 16 that the pandemic means when you are tested positive for a disease, pan-world, then it is a pandemic. Wow. Definition is very important. There is another flaw in the research, major flaw. There is no investigation done to find the reason why a naturopathy or a Ayurveda or homeopathy is curing a disease. Naturopathy is curing it with food, water, air, and mind power. And homeopathy and Ayurveda, all these branches are curing it with processed natural medicines. These are working not only for 1 year, 2 year, or 10 years. It is working for last thousands of years, hundreds of years. No money and the resources are given for investigation of the reason of cure. And this is the biggest flaw in the public health policy today. All the resources are focused on unknown medicines and the vaccines. Even till today, the vaccines are given highest funding and they are earning the money by creating the new narrative. Wow, if you are vaccinated, you are elites of the society. Wow, you have all the facilities. So now they are coming with a new world order saying that you will own nothing, but you will be happy. That is the world they are going to take us. The frog syndrome. Then what is the definition of disease? If we define that diseases are caused by pathogens, what will be our action? Our action will be go and kill the pathogen. So we create the killers. And those killers, like antibiotics, they can kill all the microbes, not only pathogens. They are not selective. So they are creating sterile environment within our cells. Our cells are supported 90% with the environment of our the biomes we call, where bacteria, fungus, yeast are there, their materials are there. And pathogens do appear or they do live there. Why? Because the pathogens will keep our immune cells active. So what has to happen? The disease has to come and it must go away. It should not become the reason for our death. Diseases, if we correct our disease definition that diseases are caused by toxins, then what will happen? Our action will be remove the toxins. And can you imagine all the traditional medicines have got one focus, remove the toxins. And why the microscope is not focused on these remedies? Hypocrisy. Our purpose, public health policies, goal must be restoring the self-healing system of the cells. The nature has given the balance, the input and output balance. The input goes from air, water, and food. Output is air coming out as carbon dioxide used by plants. Water is coming out as sweat and urine used by the soil. And we have to have bath because the sweat which is coming, part will be evaporated. But whatever is sticking to the skin, it has to be washed out and given back to the soil. If we test our urine and the sweat, it has same content. It's a cycling system. I'm going to talk a little bit about the balancing also in the coming slide. And the food which we eat, it creates the balance by taking out the feces. The feces has to go out into the soil and enrich the bacteria in the soil and again become the fertilizer. This is the cycle which is balanced in the nature. So toxins, why we are having so much of toxin? Because input has got toxin, our body is not able to remove it. And that is why our cells are getting sick, because the pathogen can eat certain type of toxins and the number of pathogen can increase. Our body's defenses increase the temperature and control it. And what happens to other toxins? Other toxins will accumulate around our cells and sit there, and slowly after some time it will make us sick. So we call it lifestyle disease. So in our lifestyle, toxin is there, which is not supposed to be there in this large number. So there is no lifestyle diseases. It is just taking out the toxin, and no lifestyle disease should stay with us for lifelong. And that should be the goal of the public health policy. So restoring, once again, I'm saying restoring the self-healing system of our cell needs to be goal of the public health policy. Public health policy must be based on the law of nature. What is the law of nature? Nature has rules which is regulated to maintain balance. In Hindi, I call it Niyam, Niyantran, Santulan. Rule which is regulated and the balance is maintained. When the balance is maintained consistently, then it becomes sustainable. And I have given you two figures here. One is the slavery figure, another is freedom. What happens in slavery? When the hypocrisy controls our information, they control our subconscious mind, that means we are their slaves. And this system will have good only for themselves and their kins. All others are used and thrown. And look at this second figure, in which you can see the same triangle with the information. It is going into our subconscious with freedom. The circle is outside the triangle. This is called the freedom figure. And the public health policy need to be made on this information. Correct definition, your destination is correct. Our destination is self-healing, restoring the self-healing system of our cells. Public health policy based on the law of nature. How will it look? Same head, heart, and hand. Our heart, the religious system, when the hypocrisy is not there in the religion, what will happen? They will give the reason for love, forgiveness, and peace. What the science will do? The science will not have to prepare the weapons. They will prepare, they will discover, invent tools to keep our soil, our space, our air and fire and water unpolluted. And what the government will do, our hand, they will use the tools to implement it. And what will happen? Public health policy will focus on prevention. When your space, soil, space, air, and fire and water is clean, you are not going to have toxic accumulation in your cells. You will have only enough to keep the immune cells active. Public health policy needs to focus on training people to restore their self-healing system. So public health policy needs to have a lot of training programs. Healthcare facilities are required only for aging and accident cases. Accident also where? How? While doing adventure. The science will create the tool for more safety if they are focusing on adventure. And other than this, you don't require any healthcare facilities. All other facilities can be designed in the homes. The resource recovery rooms, the health recovery room, these can be designed in our home as we have a kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. Same way we can have health recovery room with the circadian triangle principles. We have a resource recovery room. Today, because we don't have this resource recovery room, we have dumping yards in every city. You just name the city where human beings live, there we have dumping yard. Our rivers, which are passing through our cities or any human habitats, it has become the garbage carrying transport system. Our air is polluted. We need at least 10 trees per person to give us 3 cylinders of oxygen per day. And the cities are designed royally by the Hippocratic system, a disastrous design, where the slavery can be practiced the best. When the New World Order comes, the first slaves will be our cities. Public health policy must focus on prevention and cure and not on management of the diseases. Glance on our circadian triangle. Our cell live in an environment. Environment not only external, there is an internal environment. And this has got 3 functions. We call it chemical function, mechanical functions, and electrical function. How the chemical function is managed, I call it AHOM, AHOM. AHOM is a short form to memorize. I created it. It happens, antioxidation happens with food, where you have protein, vitamins and minerals, and carbohydrates and fat. Carbohydrate is the fuel, fat is for storing fuel. The carbohydrate goes into our mitochondria for blowing the air into it, the oxygen. It fires this carbohydrate. And fat, it has got 3 functions. It will store for the emergency, it will carry our vitamin A, D, and E, and it will give lubrication for our joints and the cells. And these 3, protein, vitamin, and minerals, they are the cell builders. Just like we have our home, just now we are sitting in our homes, we have kitchen. When somebody is cooking in the kitchen, our house is not on fire or the vessel is not on fire, because we have created our homes with a material. Same way God has created our cells with a special material, so that when oxidation happens, your cell is not on fire. So this is the chemical action which is happening. And then we have hydration. Our home ka H is hydration. We have water going in and coming out. This is a chemical action, H2O. It carries all the material and brings back the material. And then oxidation, it helps in the fire. Just like if we have a wood fire at home, then you have to blow it, otherwise it will have smoke. Same way our body requires that blowing. And when that does not happen properly, then you have toxic collection. And very soon, instead of metabolism, the catabolism will come and the cancer cells are going to come out. And many other things will, a different way the diseases can be shown. And the second is the mechanical action. What is the mechanical action? Is the temperature, gravity, and pressure. Our body, all the cells are working under this. The kidney is working, the heart is working, they are using the mechanical function or the energy. So when somebody has a heart attack, it is a mechanical failure because of a clot. by the blood or a clogging of the fat. And this is called a mechanical action. So our body has got mechanical action. The kidney is filtering because of the gravity and the pressure is required. Then we have electrical action. Just now, all of us are under this electrical influence. Each one of our cells are like batteries. It collects it receives the energies, electrical energies. And if you take a voltmeter, put it on the AC mode and go into the millivolt and just touch the probe, one in the socket of neutral and one in your hand, you can read the voltage of your cell. And by nature, our cell needs to be zero voltage at least for 6 to 8 hours. Earthing, God has created this earthing. So in the electrical action, what happens in our body, we are supposed to be connected to earth. But our lifestyle, the conveniences, they have created everything different. We are wearing the footwear every time. There is no chance of getting zero voltage in our body, no chance of earthing. So we can create that earthing. And these three actions keep on going. They have to be coordinated in circadian triangle. Circadian means a triangle which goes in circle. Okay. When these three are coordinated, nothing can make these cells sick. It will overcome every disease. So public health policies need to explain this circadian triangle to every single individual who own their 50 trillion cells. It is like the music. There are different musicians with who are expert in their own instruments. If they don't coordinate with each other, it will be noise. But when they coordinate, it is beautiful music. And that is health all about. And we, as a group of experts in health, we need to come together with one focus, that is restoration of our self-healing system of our cells. And the public health policies must be based on this destination. The destination has to be correct. And I hope that all the groups like we are together, like that many groups are there who are working towards, we network with each other and change the public health policy, not only for one state, Kerala. We need to change it for the nation and for the world. Thank you very much. And I'll be very happy to take any question if there.
Yes, of course, it's absolutely electrifying performance from Dr. It's nice presentation, and definitely a lot of things we have to reflect on these talks by Dr. Susan. It's a wonderful one. At the same time, she raised a lot of questions too. Because recently, I think the medical world is doing some sort of gaslighting. That is more important. Well, this is the session for now. It's time for discussion. Those who would like to participate, please go to the participant list and raise your hand. Definitely, you can unmute you. But what is needed? We should expunge these hurdles. How? By unity, by actions, by following ethics. Yes, of course, India can lead these situations and can set an example to the world. Then again, what about the idea of these multinational companies? They want to expunge the governments so they can act directly to the grassroots level and bypass the oppositions by the regional leaders. Then, in fact, it is a organized looting. What is the idea? Idea is to loot the people. Every epidemics are converted into opportunities to shoot their sales graph up. That is more important. You know, what happened, this epidemics. Then what happened to the zero COVID strategy? It becomes a big zero. So it was a great tragedy. In China, we know now the peoples are agitating wildly than ever. The government is struggling. What happened? They gave more than 240 crore doses of vaccines. Then the government again resorted to lockdowns, no other options, and the peoples are agitating, then causing a great dip in their economy, for Chinese economy. So this is what they want. The World Economic Forum is designed. They want to avoid the 400 crores of unwanted eaters by limited wars, fatal epidemics, then cut shorting the essential commodities, creating political unrest. These are the methodology strategies they are using. Well, it's a time for discussion again. Dr. Thanesh is there. Yes, Dr. Thanesh, please, you can unmute now.
Good evening, all, and good evening, Dr. Susan Raj. It's really one of the best presentation as far as this My Health, My Right is concerned, because you have come out in a different style and you have beautifully presented the importance and relevance of this constitutional right for every person. As you all know that it is the right for us to choose what kind of treatment or whether I should go for treatment or not. But unfortunately, the RAJ here is not allowing us to choose the right thing because of they are still following the British rule, which they still believe that we are under the control of those people who were in the some years back here, rule here. But here we have a very good Prime Minister. He's taking time to settle down things in favor of I system, because he is the person who has presented I system a lot of opportunities. Even in the verse, he has shown that how yoga works, how Ayurveda works, how Siddha works. So since we have such a wonderful person at the helm of ours now, we can run, we will have to work together with our Prime Minister to bring all these things for the betterment of our system, and particularly the people of India really need something of that variety and not of this Western cultural supposed to be the things detected by so-called WHO, who are really the persons who are getting payback from those people who are running the big game of medical business. As you rightly pointed out, they have even defined and they modified what is supposed to be a pandemic. Pandemic is something different actually in the past, but now they are detecting in a different style. According to the whims and fancies of those companies, they are trading in this, and they are also favoring all kind of tests. Suppose in those days, in the olden period of time, only 90% of the disease persons can be treated without any particular test. Even today, we can do that. That's what most of the homeopaths and Ayurvedic doctors are doing. But things have changed entirely because everybody is depending more on these tests and they rely upon the test for their health. Unfortunately, it is not the test that prove that the person is health or not, but we have seen that there are so many persons who is having 100% fit in their blood test and the X-ray test and the MRI test, but they are not good for anything because their mind is running away from the normal thinking and normal well-being of a person. So as you rightly pointed out, we have to work together to bring up what is the need of the hour, and is something like what you are working in with this Awaken India movement. That they are also doing a lot of good things for the people, in particularly in India. But unfortunately, people does not realize what is happening with this Awaken India movement. We need to go to the grassroots level and find out what are the means by which we can promote these things to the common man, how to educate these people in such a nice way. Anyway, I'm really happy to say, and we are very proud to have such a wonderful person in Dr. Susan Raj here. Thank you, ma'am. I have no queries to ask. We will have a discussion later, and so that I can ask also questions.
Yes, of course, of Tanesh. Yes, now Paris Bavakan, sir, yes, is capable of making some critical analysis. Sir, please, you can unmute now. Yes.
Hello, Dr. Susindal. Good evening. It is really an electrifying presentation, no doubt about that. I am feeling somewhat lack of proper vocabulary to explain your approach and description of this topic. Wonderfully, you have presented with a unique approach and very beautiful way, because of that circle and the triangle concepts was very attractive, and it contained everything, and it is no need of a word also to explain the concepts within that circle and the triangle. Your focus on the health, the definition of health, that is an indicator of our behavior towards our environment. So such a beautiful definition that the health policies should be formulated to reach that destination through proper paths and direction. That the circle and that everything, the triangle should also are contained in that definition. I really amazingly appreciate your approach. Our self-healing system, that is a very beautiful concept, that we should all together to jointly try and take efforts for self-healing system, or our health policy should be directed towards this health system, self-healing system, healing system. That is a very good concept. That I think this so-called modern health people, they are against this actually. They are trying to create some opportunity for gaining something like that. Anyhow, I fully appreciate it. You should definitely come again and take her to new heights and the new frontiers of this subject. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Yes, sir, that's a good analysis. As I said, Paris sir is an expert in making some analysis and comments. A wonderful personality for IFPH. Thank you, sir, for your participation. Then regarding the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the examples you have quoted is really a wonderful one. Then there is a interesting thing is that there is a definition for health, but there is no comprehensive definition for disease. What disease? Without knowing what disease, how can you treat? What is scientificity behind that? What's the logic behind that? Nobody knows. And it's always changing and changing, like fashions, varied like fashions. Just like the definitions of pandemic, it was declared as pandemic when the mortality rate is over 1%. Now what happened? The test positivities is the most important. We all know that the corporates or those who are creating all these kits can manipulate these things with ease. Nobody can question that. Then who is the expert to give opinion on that? Well, they appointed by these fellows. So quite natural, we can assume the result. Now, Dr. Veena is there. Dr. Veena, yes, you can unmute now, please.
Good evening, doctors. Ma'am, I really appreciate your effort of taking the vaccine side effect project. Many congratulations, and that should bring a lot of insight to the entire globe. So that's a big service that you are doing to the humanity. That should be appreciated. The thing is, earlier we had a concept of family physician. So from childhood we were being treated by the family physician, And he directed, if in case any complication or in future only, he used to refer to the experts. But due to the reductionist theories and other things, now there are been experts even in the low villages, remote villages, and this family physician concept is almost not there today. So having been the same system followed, at least we would have prevented a lot of complications because of the chemicals. This is one thing which I wanted to put it across. This concept should evolve, and there should be an integrated family physician available in every town or everywhere, and every family should have a family physician. This should be recommended. This is one thing. Number two is, like as you said, the animals, they know, they when they get sick, they know what to eat, what not to eat, and they are healing by themselves. Now humans, they forgot it. We being treated by all the experts and so many new things has advanced, that we don't know what is going wrong in our body. So this should be uprooted, and we have to have a thorough insight of ourselves, what is going in our body and mind. And as you said, that will heal the majority of the process, and small medicines or prevention here and there would help the humanity much better way, instead of treating straight away the children itself with steroids, vaccines, and whatnot. So what is your thought process on this, ma'am?
Yes, Dr. Veena, you are correct. And I always promote the integrated, and I say 90% of the diseases must be treated at home. And only remaining 10% will come as aging and accident cases, maybe a few very difficult deliveries. Otherwise, our death and our birth needs to be at home. Home is the place for all this. So if we stop having the use and throw behavior, we can curb, we can hit the hypocrisy. How to hit the hypocrisy? First thing, identify how the hypocrisy enters. It requires only a small space. It enters everywhere. We have to have sensors for identifying hypocrisy. And that sensor is dispute. If you have any conflict, fighting with each other, there has to be a hypocrisy coming in. So with these kind of sensors, with this kind of understanding, the definition has to, we have to redefine our diseases and health. And you will see, Dr. Veena, definitely we all can have 90% of our diseases cured at home. All the diseases are curable because God has created our cells to have self-healing system. Aging and accident is the only reason for us to have death, not the disease and the wars. And we can do it. We have to change the designs of our home. We have to change the our mindset. It's the mind power which can do a lot of things. So we have to be very strong with our narratives. We cannot keep quiet. So what is happening with today is the 820th program for youth year. So it needs to not only be up, but it has to be converted into policy. And as an expert, all these things should be integrated and achieve it. We have a destination, and we have the direction, and we have the right path.
Okay, ma'am. Yes. Well, we know the difference between the home and house. The home is made up of hearts, so definitely that will be more important for the healing process instead of the intensive care units. Now, Dr. Tanesh, yes, please.
Yes, I would like to add something that Dr. Veena told here, because it is the time for the integrated system in which homeopathy, Ayurveda, and Siddha, all these doctors sit together and work together. This is the national policy as far as the government is concerned, central government is concerned. But unfortunately, these persons are not allowing to how things happens in Kerala. But I know that some of the northern state has implemented those things. But this is high time to sit together and work together for the better recovery of the patient in the shortest possible time. This is what we are supposed to deliver, and that is what we homeopaths also we're also happy to have such a sessions because international standard need to be implemented in all those systems. But of course, we can put forward this internationally the scope of integrated system all over the world, so that most of the people, more people can be saved from this death by use of this chemical material. I must say, thank you once again. And then, Dr. Susan, I would like to ask you one question. What are the normal things that you people at Awaken India movement are doing in this respect? Can you explain something more?
With the Awaken India movement, as Awaken India movement, we have the legal action going on in one place, empowering people at the ground level, and also promoting people who are able to provide the solutions for different problems. So one of the biggest problem which we are facing today is the vaccination injury. So as Dr. Veena indicated, I thought I'll just talk about this, that vaccine injuries can be seen in the blood test. And our lawyers are very happy to see that how we are collecting the blood test and the proof. So it can be presented in the court of law as a proof that it is injuring. So these are the various activities happening with Awaken India movement at all the levels. At state level, we are at the municipal corporation levels and village levels. We are trying to enter. We have AIM has got a very beautiful policy. I said it is a great subconscious they have, in which they are promoting everyone. Anybody in any state can work as Awaken India movement, whether it is in a local language, like in Chhattisgarh. I am sitting in Chhattisgarh just now. I just reverse migrated from Pune because I wanted to practice what I preach.
Yes.
So I am here to promote all the farming system, and we need to have the safe food. So farmers, doctors, and engineers need to come together.
Okay.
So AIM is working at all the levels, and in Chhattisgarh, AIM is called like Jagruk Chhattisgarh, Jagruk Jan Chhattisgarh. So awaken people of the Chhattisgarh. So anywhere people can really work, and the best part is that AIM provides complete support of the documents. So the AIM website is amazing, and you can go to that and take all the documents which you want for all the legal support. We have together really created the mandate for opposing the central government's public health policy.
Yes,
and
madam.
Success in all the court cases.
Madam, we have only limited time. Dr. Shaji Kudiyat is our vice president. He is there. Dr. Shaji, please.
Thank you, Dr. Susan Raj, for joining our session. We are very happy and listening to you. I used to listen to you during the Awaken India movement Zoom meetings, and again, I highly appreciate your presence and joining in our forum. And I noticed few points from your speech that you mentioned that in 2015, the World Health Organization modified the definition of pandemic. Incidentally, it happened in 2015. That is the same year the COVID-19 test kit, what it is called there, patency was taken by Rothschild family, 2015. So they took the patency and changed the policy so that they can declare this 19 for a great reset. And we should have a new world order, but not the way designed by these people, but designed for natural, healthy existence of humanity, the way we design, which will really pro-human and that will really help humanity. And we people need to take initiative and leadership in the world for that. I think we all together working hardly to educate people and taking leadership in our own localities may need to join hands locally, nationally, and internationally to take leadership to make this happen so that the coming generations will be enjoying beautiful health, natural health in the most natural way. Along with the application of modern scientific developments only as a supportive system, only to overcome crisis. I think you will agree with that. And thank you for joining. We wish to see you again in our forum. Thank you.
Yes,